But that's who our government keeps propping up. They keep helping. Not the people, the companies. The latest in the $3 billion mortgage bailouts. Is that designed for the people? No, no. Who's that going to help? The banks. If the homes don't recover their value in the next 24 months and you lose your job, guess who still loses their house? But the banks? No. They get your neighbor's cash to ease their pain. So you still get screwed, but the banks are okay. I mean, isn't this bad enough? How about the unemployment? Unemployment number they're saying is 9.6. That's not the real unemployment number. It never has been the real unemployment number. The real unemployment number is called the U6, and it's the broadest unemployment measure that is available, and that is 16.5. That's when everybody, they count everybody. For instance, teenage unemployment. You know what that is? Teenage unemployment. Nothing better for a revolution than a whole bunch of teenagers unemployed. 26%. How about African American unemployment? Oh, gee, 15.6. How about Hispanic unemployment? 12.1. Do you know that 44% of all people that are unemployed are long-term unemployed, meaning 27 weeks or longer? America's employment population ratio up until 2005 has consistently been above 70%. In 1950s, it was about 80%. Now, it's considered good at 70, 58.4. Instead of unleashing innovation and creating a tax-friendly climate for the whole world to come here and bring their business and their companies here so we can have some jobs, some ideas that maybe encourage hiring and growth, this administration is giving money, your money, to failing banks, failing insurance companies, failing auto companies, taking the money out of your hard-earned pocket and giving it to unions in order to save their butts. And you know what those people are doing it? They're sending that money, your money, from your wallet overseas. You know, you show me the companies that are based here in America versus those companies that sell all their crap or build all their crap overseas. And I'll tell you, I'll bet you I know which one's doing well. Not the one who sells their stuff here and builds their stuff here. Why? Because the people aren't doing well. Why? Because we've completely abandoned the whole concept of the free market system. The whole concept of, here's an idea, merit. Merit. You have to do something. Watch this. You have the 99ers. Have you heard of the 99ers? Here they are. Oh, Democratic Socialists of America. The 99ers. These people, some of which, frankly, I bet you'd be ashamed to call them Americans. They think that 99 weeks on unemployment benefits just aren't enough. Last week, they went down to Wall Street and they protested. 99er Connie Kaplan asked, are you going to tell us, Mr. President and Congress, that our lives are not worth saving? Connie, here's an idea. I'll help save your life. Don't spend your remaining money on travel to get to a protest. Go out and get a job. You may not want the job. Work at McDonald's. Work 2 jobs. There's been plenty of times in my life where I have done jobs that I hated, but I had no choice. 2 years is plenty of time to have lived off your neighbor's wallet. Oh, stop being so mean. These people are just regular people. Are they? Are they really just regular people? She looks normal, doesn't she? Yes, there she is. These aren't regular people. These are Workers of the World Unite. These are SEIU people, AFL-CIO, the Democratic Socialists of America. That's not regular people. They're socialists and anti-capitalist. Do you remember seeing this photo on the Drudge Report last week? A job is a right. By the way, here's the union label right there. No, a job is not a right. In the former Soviet Union, it was a right. In Venezuela, it's a right, but not here. How many weeks of unemployment are enough? Really? If 99 weeks is not enough, how much is? Is it 100? Is it 200? Is it a lifetime? Or is just a job a right? Okay, so you have an economy that's headed for trouble. Remember, the experts say it's headed for, the whole Hindenburg thing. Now, because the economy is in trouble, civil unrest. We've already seen what's happening in Greece and Europe. They're burning cars because they're cutting entitlements. Again, is an election going to stop these 3? Another part of the perfect storm is our borders. Has anyone noticed the violence escalation on the border? Just last month, the cartels had a 2-hour firefight with authorities. 2 hours. An Arizona sheriff just announced the Border Patrol officials are pulling their men off the border because it's just too dangerous. Well, that's great. Here's an idea. Show me the map. Why don't you say we pull back, I don't know, somewhere about here? Portland, is that enough? Why don't we pull back to Oregon? Why don't we give them California? I haven't even mentioned the fact that car bombings are now happening on our border, and nobody seems to notice that car bombings, where do we see those? Hezbollah. Hezbollah is involved. So does switching to a few D's to a few R's in November make this go away? Will a victorious Tea Party candidate send shivers through the spines of the drug cartels and have them retreat from the border? That's not even counting our biggest problem, us. Because those are the enemies outside the gates. But what about the enemies inside? We've shown you on this program over and over again, those who hate the free market system and the Constitution. You don't think they exist? Let me show you a billboard in Arizona. We don't have an immigration problem. We have a capitalism problem. Sponsored by Revolution Talk. Ow! Revolution. Who doesn't like a nice revolution from time to time? So what is the cure for all of this? Is it the president? Is it the president? I mean, is a Republican going to do it? Republicans are the ones for the 99 billion weeks of unemployment. Their only complaint is that it's paid for. Has it been paid for? Those things may delay a storm from coming on shore, but it's not going to stop it. We haven't even talked about oil. You think if we have a problem in the Middle East, we're going to have a problem with our energy, seeing that we're shutting down the oil rigs? If we have a problem with our energy and the economy is like this, do you think it might cause some more civil unrest? And if you think if we have trouble in the Middle East, we have no energy, the economy collapses and civil unrest, do you think the borders might be overrun? And do you think the enemies within might like that? What's the answer? It's not Obama magic. It's not Congress. It's not the Republicans. It's not the Tea Party. There is one answer. One. And if I may continue my quest to be, the most hated man in America, the weirdest show in America, I don't know. Let me give you the answer. God. These problems are too big. That's the only answer. And I know you don't like getting that from some boob on TV on a news channel, but that's the only answer. I've been looking at this for a long time, gang. Do you believe America was created through divine providence? Do you believe that God worked through our founders? Do you believe that all men are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights? If you don't, then this show's the wrong one for you. But if you say yes to those things, then you have to answer this question. Does this land have a purpose? Is there a reason we're here and we're free? Or is the purpose of freedom over? Because once we lose it here, it ain't around anywhere else. Is God done with the whole free man thing? Is that a concept that God's like, it didn't really work out? Is God now siding with the Chinese who pay their people 50 cents an hour, that build hive-like dormitories over their factories? For a while, they're just like, you know what, I don't know if we should, we don't call Lee anymore. Let's just give him a number. Is that whose side God is on? Is that the way God's looking at people and going, let's call him a number? If you believe that God indeed had his hand in the founding of this country, then don't you think he's kind of interested in its future? We've seen what happened to those who get careless in the past. Every time. Every time. And every time there are warning signs. Every time. Do you want to be the Romans and just disappear? Or do you want to make a difference? Do you want to say, we're not going to repeat it. We've learned from history. Now is the time, gang. Now is the time. Turn to him before he decides, okay, I guess they're never going to get it. And then he allows us to destroy ourselves. And then he turns to our children or our grandchildren or our great-grandchildren. Ronald Reagan, a man I love, said, those who have known freedom and then lost it have never known it again. It is true. If we lose it, we will never see it again. We'll be lucky if our children or grandchildren do. please. You always dial for a fireman when you need help. Call him.